Hey everyone, I'm back. All right, let's get into some NFL real quick. The NFL draft was this past week into weekend. It was really interesting. Uh, what happened? Obviously, Kyler Murray went first to the Cardinals, and certain key guys did go. But the most interesting here thing in the NFL draft this time, especially in New York, was what the New York Giants did. The New York Giants picked a quarterback, which is great and what fans wanted, but they picked a quarterback that the fans didn't see coming, or at least at that position, that drafting number order sixth. They thought maybe they'll go a defensive guy, or if they did, they would get a quarterback Haskins, not Daniel Jones. And that's been very, very interesting. And I wouldn't say controversial, but very hot topic around here in New York. And I think personally, I get it why fans think that way. It wasn't my number one pick or something that I was like, that makes sense. It was more like, I guess that's what they want to do. Let's hope it works out, kind of. Gettleman's an interesting kind of GM, and it makes sense that the pick he chose is kind of same goes in line with what he does. I would just say I hope it works out, and I think fans shouldn't really be too harsh because first of all, there's a lot of I wouldn't say positive, but things to think about. Yeah, not every quarterback that goes to Duke and is a part of the Mannings is a Manning. But let's say maybe he's learned from Peyton, Eli, maybe a little bit knowledge from Archie, the head coach has been around a long time in Duke with over there. And so that's all good stuff. He's not as horrible as everyone thinks he is. He is. I think he's going to be obviously at least a start in the NFL. We just don't know if he's going to be that superstar that Haskins seems that he's going to be, or Kyle Murray is looks like it's going to be. And so it's just very fortunate because if this doesn't pan out, then the Giants again like set back the franchise and lost their very talented wide receiver for almost nothing really. And that's what Giants fans are so worried about. And I get it, but I think you got to give it time. He hasn't even played, and I know it's so hard to do because there's so much more time between getting on the field and this. If it was like, okay, the teams are now playing in a month, maybe, but it was just very interesting. I think that if this is the thing, if Gettleman, I don't think he's lying, but I don't think it's not necessarily as serious as he was saying, but that he believed that there was at least two other teams that were going to pick Daniel Jones before Daniel Jones went to the Giants at pick 17 in the first round. And if that's the case, and I think he shouldn't have been so persistent in saying that it's 100% true. I rather have went, well, this is what we saw and what we perceived and what we kind of are feeling, and we didn't want to take any chance. Instead of being saying so with such certitude that was going to happen, that teams were going to pick him, because everything that seems like coming after this is that's not true. But I get it. In their mind, at that moment, number six, that's the quarterback that they want and they, I guess, love. Then go for it. It's not great and it's not ideal, but you never know. I mean, look at the Giants before Eli Manning. The other guy that was no named and from some college no one really knew about was turned out to be Phil Simms. So I would say this. Obviously, you got to give it time, and that's just something people don't have. But I would say this: it's not like there's a bum, someone who shouldn't have been drafted. Yeah, he's probably someone who would have been drafted either at the end of the first round or at least the early second round. But I think he's capable. I think it's just you just have to see. And honestly, the way he at least the way he presents himself, the way he's talked with the media, it's he seems like a genuine kind of guy. He has that more like Eli Manning type of talk and cadence type of thing. And I wouldn't say that's all you really can say. You can't go too much into it. But I just will tell the Giants organization this, that you better be very, very certain that this pick is and quarterback is the guy that you know is going to work out. Because if it doesn't, that's going to be a real problem. Because I do think that Haskins is going to work well in the Redskins, and that's another problem. The Giants have picked quarterbacks, have not picked a quarterback, and now both times it's kind of burned them. They didn't pick a quarterback last year. The Jets got him. Now at least he's going to be in New York all the time and always be connected to Saquon, and that quarterback would be connected forever. Now you don't pick Haskins, and now he's in your division, and you're going to see him quite a lot for a long time, I'm sure. And now that's going to be something, because if this doesn't work out, you're going to have that right in your face every time. In New York, you're going to have it with the Jets and their quarterback, and then you're going to have it in your division with the Redskins quarterback, who will be there, play you at least 2 times a year, and will be such a problem, or even in the playoffs, if that is the fact of how it's going to go. So, really, everything else I think is interesting. They got a cornerback. I think that's interesting, because then what does that mean for Janoris Jenkins and some of the other cornerbacks, what they got defensively? We have to see, how it all works out. Obviously, the Jets got a defensive guy again, someone who's going to even shore up the defensive line even more, or the defensive, in itself. The Jets seem like they're going to have the better season than the Giants, but you never know. But from this draft, it seems like the Giants have a lot of questions, a lot more questions than answers. Where the Jets is a lot more like, what are we going to do? This is what we did, and this is how we did it, and so that kind of thing. So on that note, I just want to say that this is the last WICR show for this semester. But for me in particularly, this is my last WICR show ever. I am graduating this, semester. I'm a senior, so this is my last radio show here. I just want to thank everyone in the e-board, other general members in WICR. I've had so much fun these last couple of years. I wish, Kate, our current president here, and everyone else in the e-board success. And I wish everyone who are going to be the e-board members next semester and going forward so much success. And I just want to thank everyone, whoever has listened over these last couple years. I really appreciate it. And hopefully you guys listen to me down the road when this hopefully goes professional and goes into professional radio. But if not, I appreciate my time here and wanted to give thanks to everyone. And I always will cherish these experiences with WICR. And that's pretty much it. And you guys ever want to follow me on Twitter, you can always do so at Robert Sosa the second one. With any sports questions, obviously I won't have this forum to discuss it with you anymore, but on Twitter I can still do so, and maybe in the near future some other way. I want to just thank once again everyone for listening, and until next time.